Let's get into some things, child. We got some stuff to talk about today, honey. We got some stuff to talk about. Hit that like button if you are new here. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We have a great time over here. You meant what you said when you said it. Really be is back, because I'll be understanding y'all sometimes. And when y'all know when I say y'all, you know I ain't talking about y'all. I'm talking about y'all. It's me that all these people that got something to say have been actively involved in the political process in their world. I don't believe it. You ain't gonna convince me. I know y'all love me. What up? Hey, everybody. Not Abby said she got the Twitch notification before she got the YouTube one. Now, you know that don't even make no sense. Don't even make no sense. What up, y'all? Come on in. Happy Monday. Let's go ahead and let me say hi to the people. Hey, Quake. What's up, Tan? Hey, Half Pen. I keep wanting to say Half Pint. Hey, Half Pen. What's going on, Rock Chick? Don, Abby, Corey, Majani, Dorothy, Chapel Hill. I pray he didn't play us. Well, listen. I'm not going to say he played us, but I'm definitely going to say we... Hey, Nay. My bad. I forgot to put my lipstick. I had my gloss on. I forgot to put a little color with it. What up? Hey, everybody coming in. Cajun, Marnie, Felicia. What's going on? So church announcements. Real quick, you guys. Friday is the day. I can't wait to see everybody. I can't wait to meet everybody. I look forward to seeing you guys. Cruise. I don't really have any updates on the cruise other than it's not too late to book. There are still rooms available. So as long as it's not sold out, as long as there are rooms available, baby, you can get on that ship. Okay. To order your t-shirt for the cruise. The t-shirts for the books and bourbon, that's a wrap. But for the cruise, to order your t-shirt, you need to, it's the t-shirts are $30 unless you want something personalized. I talked to James yesterday. I don't know what his upcharge is going to be. If you want your name or anything special on the back, it would go on the back, not the front, because the front is going to be uniform. We're going to all have the same t-shirt on the front. But if you want to get your name or something added to the back, you would let James know that. And so you're going to email spillitboy@gmail.com, put in the subject line ReallyBTV, and he'll know that it is about the cruise. And then you can cash app him the same. $spillitboy. You send him the $30 directly. If you want something special, don't send him the money until you talk to him. Now, if you just want a regular old t-shirt, email him. You know, you got to give him your information, your size and your contact information and all that good stuff. And you can cash app him. But if you want something special, you know, talk to him first. Okay. Cajun, you the one that asked. You started this. Don't talk about some W making him do extra work. You started this. Ain't nobody said nothing about getting no special shirt made until you started this. Moving right along. What Quake had an update? What happened? Oh, we got a new member. Welcome, Vinny. Welcome, Vinny. Y'all, I see y'all are already welcoming him. Yes. Melly, thank you for renewing your membership because I know you've been a member before. Thank you for renewing your membership. Now I'm the favorite and I'm special. Moving right along. So listen, you guys, last week we started following this story. The week before last, I think, actually, we started following the story of Dr. Ian Roberts, the former superintendent of Des Moines County Public Schools, where he was arrested by ICE. We initially did like a deep dive that Saturday, and then we did a follow-up on the teacher project last week. So I actually have, I'm sorry, Chuck, I didn't see you. You know, if I don't speak to you, it's because I didn't see you, my love. You know I would not skip over you. You know that. Hey, little baby. Y'all know I wouldn't speak over. Y'all. Anyway. So So I have been getting more information and more of an update. So let's get into. I have an article. It's a little lengthy, so that's why this whole episode is basically going to be about Dr. Roberts. And then we can have a conversation afterwards. You know, y'all know at 8:30 I have to go. We know we're doing the Whether You Like It or Not panel, Real Housewives of Potomac season 10, episode 1 review. But you can sit behind me, Nate, but leave Benji with us. Y'all really be trying to steal her dog. Y'all cannot steal Benji. First of all, Benji ain't gonna go that far away from her. Benji don't play that. Benji don't play that about her, okay? And then I do have a few little small stories that we can just hit at the end, but the majority of this is going to be coming from this article. And it's a pretty lengthy article. Some of it is information we've already covered, but I want to kind of just put everything in context so we can kind of put everything together. And then I have a few TikTok videos. There's a young lady over on TikTok that's been following the case and giving us the updates. I believe she lives in Des Moines, so she's kind of giving us some stuff. So I want to share a couple of her TikToks as well. Like I said, some of the information might overlap, but the bigger picture is what we're trying to get to, okay? Do y'all want me to? Well, I'm going to go ahead and share the screen, and I'll share the article. Excuse me. Oh, Lord. Excuse me. And this is coming from the New York Times. There was also an article in the Des Moines Register, but I don't have a subscription to Des Moines. I have a subscription to the New York Times. So, and here's the thing: I should have canceled my subscription to the New York Times. The only reason why I still have this subscription is because of all the times I had to pull an article for Bishop robbery. So I need to cancel it after I'm done with this. I need to cancel it. But anyway, can y'all see? Okay, I'm gonna make it bigger on the screen. I'll take that down. All right, so let's get ready to get into it. And again, I'm gonna just read the whole article, even though some of the information might be a little redundant. The school district leaders in Des Moines drew up a detailed wish list when they set out to hire the new superintendent in 2023. They wanted someone who could increase reading scores, improve the math skills of Black boys, adhere to an affirmative action plan, and much more. Most of all, Des Moines Public Schools needed a galvanized leader who could meet a moment shaped by the aftermath of COVID and the racial justice movement of 2020. Ian Roberts' application seemed almost too perfect. Dr. Roberts has spent most of his career in urban school systems, building a reputation as a charismatic, hands-on administrator. He wrote books, gave speeches, and boasted of degrees from brand-name universities. His life story was also compelling. An immigrant from Guyana who competed in the Olympics and spoke bluntly about his experience as a Black man in the United States. Quote, I believe deeply in the promise of public education being the most important opportunity gap closer for youth, particularly with a focus on diverse populations, end quote. Dr. Roberts, who was in his 50s, wrote in his cover letter for the Des Moines job. Red flags would pop up. The district learned about a past brush with law enforcement and a misstatement on his resume about where he had earned his doctorate. So Des Moines already knew about the doctorate thing, and they already knew about the past arrest. Okay. But Des Moines officials moved ahead to hire him. 2 outside companies were involved in vetting Dr. Roberts, who told district officials and a state licensing board that he was a United States citizen. Again, remember the question is about whether he was legally able to work in the United States. Okay. Nobody seemed to realize that he was lying and that the man seeking to run Iowa's largest school district was not allowed to work in this country. For 2 years, Dr. Roberts led about 30,000 students and 5,000 employees in Des Moines. Earning praise as the district showed signs of academic improvement, Dr. Roberts carried out his work even after an immigration judge in Texas ordered him deported last year. Popping into classrooms, asking voters to approve more funds for the district, delivering a Juneteenth speech while wearing one of his signature suits. Dr. Roberts' secret life burst into view on September the 26th, a sunny Friday about a month into the school year, when Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents arrested him after he was found hiding near a trailer park. They said he had fled from officers in a school district-owned Jeep where a loaded handgun was later found. Since then, Dr. Roberts has resigned. Protesters have held marches calling for ICE to free him, and he has been charged with a federal felony in connection to the gun and other weapons officials say they found at his home. Federal officials said those guns had been possessed illegally because Dr. Roberts did not have legal status in this country. So I want to pause right there. Can we talk about, let's assume everything in this article is true. All right, let's just walk down that road right now and assume everything that they're talking about is true. Can we talk about how many agencies failed? So if we're assuming that it's true, so you mean to tell me that 2 outside companies vetted him in addition to Des Moines Human Resources doing their due diligence? Then you mean to tell me that this man was able to get multiple firearms, in his name, registered in his name, without the proper documentation? Now, I know in some states, all you got to do is show up and you have the money and you can get a weapon. So I understand that. But can we talk about all the different levels of agencies that had to fail for this to take place? Let me keep reading, though, because, child, it's a whole lot, okay? It's a whole lot. The episode came during President Trump's sweeping federal crackdown on illegal immigration and on diversity programs in workplaces and school systems. It served as fodder for the administration's claims that the nation's immigration enforcement had been woefully impotent. Ooh, not impotent. And the revelation upended the image many Americans have of who illegal immigrants are and what sorts of jobs they hold. Exactly. Above it all, it raised a fundamental question. How could someone the government says should be removed from the country have risen to lead the public school system of a large American city? The New York Times reviewed hundreds of pages of employment documents, court records, and public statements about Dr. Roberts, exchanged texts with detained superintendent through a jailhouse message service, and interviewed people who knew and worked with him over more than a quarter of a century, including a colleague who received an unexpected FaceTime call from Dr. Roberts as he was being arrested. Dr. Roberts was a smart and ambitious educator who sought out tough assignments and earned the respect of students and colleagues, in the review found. But it also revealed a pattern of lying and embellishment that helped propel Dr. Roberts into positions of authority and a series of oversight failures that allowed his ruse to flourish. Reached by text message at Iowa City Jail, Roberts said his detention came as a surprise for many reasons, but he declined to discuss the details of his case or his immigration status. His lawyer, Alfredo Parrish, declined to answer questions about his client's work status, past arrests, or inconsistencies on his resume. He said Department of Homeland Security officials seemed to be making an effort to demonize Dr. Roberts. It is a disturbing pattern that will fail, Mr. Parrish said in a text message, adding that the public will see that Dr. Roberts is a good man whose main interest was inspiring and educating young people. Some Des Moines residents said that they are not sure how to square their positive impressions of the superintendent with ICE's descriptions of him, especially against the backdrop of Trump's administration border deportation campaign. The allegations of deception did not match the impression that people like Krista McCauley, a parent who had joined a protest in the hours after Dr. Roberts' arrest, had of him. To grapple with that, she said a week later, is really, really difficult. All right, now this gets into a little bit of the background, okay? When he was in his 20s, Ian Roberts arrived at Coppin State University, a historical Black college in Baltimore with Division I sports teams, only after track coaches at other schools had passed on him. The new recruit proved to be a hard worker and a natural leader. Within a couple of years, he had blossomed into the first male NCAA All-American at Coppin State. He was a premier guy on the track team, said Ian Smith, a college teammate, who recalled that he and his peers marveled at his ability to just be focused. As his results improved, Dr. Roberts competed in ever more prestigious track meets representing Guyana in a world championship in Spain and the Pan American Games in Canada. In 2000, he ran in the men's 800 meters at the Summer Olympics in Australia, where he did not advance past the first round. Details of Dr. Roberts' childhood and early adulthood are fuzzy. He said on an official document he was born in 1970 in Guyana, although he was listed with a 1973 birthday in the Olympics. See, check. In Des Moines, his official bio said he spent most of his formative years in New York City. At Coppin State, the track team's media guide listed Guyana's capital as his hometown and said he had attended high school there. ICE said that Dr. Roberts entered the United States on a visitor's visa in 1994 when he was in his late 20s. He traveled in and out of the country and was arrested in New York in 1996 on drug charges and in 1998 on a charge of unauthorized use of a vehicle, according to ICE. Now, that's coming from ICE now. The outcome of the drug case is unclear, and ICE said the vehicle case was dismissed. Records of those arrests were not publicly available. So I'm going to say this. I'm just going to be honest and tell y'all. I'm just going to be honest. If y'all can't find a copy of the arrest record and the vehicle case was thrown out and y'all can't find records, I'm just wondering if it happened. Because if that's what ICE is telling us, I don't believe nothing coming from ICE. Can I just go on to now? I'm not saying that Dr. Roberts is all right, but what I'm saying is I don't think he all wrong either. I don't believe what's coming from. I don't believe it. I don't believe it. If ICE is saying it, I don't know if I believe it, especially if you can't find no documentation of it. But let's keep reading, honey. Let's keep reading. The arrest did not prevent Dr. Roberts from receiving a student visa in 1999, which granted him legal status in the United States until 2004. So whatever happened, it must have been cleared up enough for him to get a student visa. Okay. After receiving a bachelor's degree from Coppin State in 1998, he enrolled at St. John's University in New York, where he competed on the track team and received a master's degree in education in 2000. The following year, he applied to become a permanent resident of the United States, but was turned down. He returned to Baltimore, where he worked as a teacher for 5 years before becoming a principal, a fast rise in a school system facing deep challenges. That is a fast rise. That is a fast, quick for him to become a principal. Now, that's quick. 5 years? Yeah, that's quick. Andres Alonso, a former chief executive of Baltimore City Public Schools, said he interviewed Dr. Roberts for the principal job at a majority Black low-income middle school in a gentrifying neighborhood. Many in Baltimore thought the school should be shut down, but Dr. Alonso committed to keeping it open and reorganizing it in partnership with a charter school operator. Dr. Roberts got the job. He wasn't in the position for long, but he succeeded, Dr. Alonso said. He had incredible energy and tremendous rapport with kids. Right away, the dynamic of the interaction with the community began to change. In the following years, Dr. Roberts' career took off. Through his immigration status during that period remains unclear. ICE indicated that Dr. Roberts had legal status in the country from 1999 until 2004, and from 2018 to 2020. So you mean to tell me that for 14 years he didn't have a legal status, but he was working, filing taxes? Stop being foolish. This is a scammer. Well, Miss Fascinating Faye, you are entitled to your opinion, and I'm entitled to mine. Thank you. All right. And the following, I just read that. I still don't understand how he was able to work for 14 years without having any sort of status, but okay. For part of that time, he led a struggling high school in the Anacostia neighborhood of Washington, D.C. That would be Anacostia High School. It's the only, anyway. That began offering more advanced placement courses and vocational options while he was principal. And he spent about 3 years in the district office of St. Louis Public Schools and worked at a charter school network, developing a reputation as a specialist at turning around underperforming urban public schools, one of the toughest jobs in education. In 2017, records show he married an American citizen in Florida. After the wedding, he twice filed for and received 1-year work authorizations. He also submitted 3 more applications for a green card, and according to ICE, all of which were denied for reasons the agency would not specify. So it sounds like he was actively working on his immigration status. Now, again, I still don't understand all of these gaps. I still don't understand all of these gaps. Okay. But let's keep going. In 2020, the Mill Creek Township School District in the suburbs of Erie, Pennsylvania, hired him as a superintendent. One of his performance reviews would later praise his devotion and passion for team building and continued learning. Behind the scenes, there was tension. Records show that the district settled cases with at least 3 employees who claimed that they were mistreated during his tenure. It didn't say he mistreated them, though. It says it was during his tenure, but okay. When he applied for his job in Pennsylvania, Dr. Roberts told the school system that he was an American citizen. District leaders said a few months later, he started his authorization to work in the United States. A few months after he started, his authorization to work in the United States was expired. Oh, Lord Jesus. It was a field day at Windsor Elementary School on the west side of Des Moines, and Dr. Roberts was supposed to be there around 9 a.m. The former Olympian was planning to challenge a second grader to a lighthearted race. But at 8:56 a.m., Dr. Roberts texted the school district communication director, Phil Rodier, who was on his way to Windsor, saying that an emergency had come up and that he would not be able to meet him at the school. 50 minutes later, Mr. Rodier had received a FaceTime call from the superintendent's phone number. When he answered, someone other than Dr. Roberts was holding up the phone, and Dr. Roberts could be seen standing with his hands behind his back, flanked on both sides by law enforcement officers. Quote, "It took me 5 seconds to figure out what I was looking at," Mr. Rodier said. "Finally, I said, 'Dr. Roberts, is everything okay? Can you hear me?' And then the phone went dead." Mr. Rodier said he still does not know who placed the call to him on the superintendent's phone. In the days that followed, the school board placed Dr. Roberts, who had a base salary of $286,000, on paid leave and then unpaid leave, and then they accepted his resignation. Some said that the school board had not done enough to vet his credentials and suggested that his members resign. A Department of Homeland Security spokesperson said Dr. Roberts should never have been able to work around children. Why? What? The Justice Department said it would investigate whether the district's affirmative action goals and diversity hiring programs have violated the law. Okay, so now it's DEI's fault. See what y'all see? Now it's DEI's fault. Let's keep reading, child. While Dr. Roberts' downfall stunned Iowans, his ability to work for years without authorization was hardly anomalous in an immigration system that politicians from both parties regard as deeply dysfunctional. Lax rules have long allowed and even incentivized the employment of millions of people who lack legal status. Employers are required to inspect identity documents that appear to be genuine before putting a new worker on payroll, and many employers have feared that subjecting prospective employees to deeper scrutiny would open them to accusations of discrimination or make it difficult to find workers. Whatever. My HR people in the chat, speak up. Is that what the problem is? Y'all scared that people gonna say y'all racist? Is that what it is? Still, the notion that someone of Dr. Roberts' stature might be in the country illegally was counter to the image many have of undocumented immigrants. This was not someone living under the radar, toiling at a low-wage job. In fact, he had undergone what seemed like an elaborate vetting process and was regularly in the public eye. Jackie Norris, who was the chair of the Des Moines School Board and a Democratic candidate for U.S. Senate, said the district had followed the law and relied on an outside firm, JG Consulting, to evaluate Dr. Roberts' qualifications. Well, remember earlier in the article, it said that 2 outside agencies vetted him. Ms. Norris said that Dr. Roberts claimed on an I-9 form that he was an American citizen, and he provided a Social Security card and a driver's license. Some non-citizens have authentic Social Security cards and driver's license, and other records suggest that Dr. Roberts had both. Ms. Norris said the school district does not vet applicants' work eligibility in the federal e-verification system, a program that checks documents against official databases, but that Iowa employees are not required to use. On Friday, the school district filed a lawsuit accusing JG Consulting of failure to properly vet Dr. Roberts. Josh Romero, a lawyer for the consulting firm, defended the company's work and said in a statement that Dr. Roberts provided the documents necessary to show that he was eligible for the position. But as questions spread about Dr. Roberts, a deeper review of his background revealed that he lied, stretched the truth, or made public statements that cannot be verified on a range of issues. When Dr. Roberts applied for the Pennsylvania job, he claimed to have a doctorate from Morgan State University. Though he was enrolled at Morgan State for years, university officials said he never received that degree. His claim of a Morgan State doctorate was repeated on his initial application in Iowa, though his resume was amended after the consulting firm discovered the discrepancy. An article on the Des Moines Public Schools website said Dr. Roberts received a master's from MIT, which said it had no record of his enrollment. And Dr. Roberts also said on job applications that he was named DC Principal of the Year by George Washington University, though the university said it had no record of giving such an award to anyone. Election records in Maryland showed that someone with Dr. Roberts' name and other identifiers was registered to vote here as a Democrat. The man voting too as a Democrat. State officials told local news outlets that there was no record of Dr. Roberts actually voting. Only American citizens can vote or even register to vote. Well, hell, y'all say only American citizens got Social Security cards, but y'all claim he had one of them too. Anyway, other parts of his biography checked out, including his Doctor of Education degree from Trident University. His lawyer provided a photo of his doctorate, which says it was issued in 2021. The Des Moines school board officials were aware of a citation against Dr. Roberts from Pennsylvania for having a loaded firearm in a vehicle, but said they were unaware of other encounters with law enforcement that ICE had described, including arrests in 2020 for weapons possession. That 2020 episode seems to refer to a now sealed case in New York. Dr. Roberts was at LaGuardia Airport when a gun was discovered during a routine check of his bag, leading to his arrest by Port Authority, according to a law enforcement official who spoke on the condition of anonymity because they were not authorized to discuss the issue. It is unclear how the case was resolved. As more information has emerged, some past supporters of Dr. Roberts have turned intensely critical of him. In the Mill Creek Township District, where Performance Review once praised Dr. Roberts' professionalism, integrity, and leadership, school board members released a letter saying they were incensed that they had been profoundly misled. Y'all wasn't no profoundly misled. Go sit down somewhere. In Des Moines, on the day of Dr. Roberts' arrest, Ms. Norris called for radical empathy, a nod to the title of one of his books. A week later, she said that Dr. Roberts was an individual who had been deceiving the public for decades. As the facts have come further along, I think quite honestly, the angrier I get. Since his arrest, Dr. Roberts has been shuttled between Iowa jails. His voice has been mostly absent from news coverage, but during a stay at one jail, he responded to a series of questions from a Times reporter over a messaging system that inmates can use. Quote, "I am hopeful, prayerful, and optimistic that there will be a path for me to stay here and continue aspiring to have an inevitable impact," he wrote. Indelible impact. He defended his records in Des Moines, noting improvements on test scores. Quote, "As I reflect on my time in Iowa, it is too abbreviated," end quote. He also described his plans to go to Windsor Elementary on the day of his arrest, mentioning one second grader by name. Quote, "I want him to keep practicing his reading and running. We will race when I see him again," end quote. Now that is the article, okay? Now listen. I'm going to give y'all my full opinion, but I want to look at two TikToks that I found. Now this young lady, she's doing regular updates, and she's right there in Des Moines. So I want to let y'all look at the two videos, because one video I think is very, very, very important, and it's going to put some context into some things, and then we can sort of talk. Let me pull it up. Ooh. I think I want to look at this one first. Hold on, let me see. Okay. So this is the one I want to look at first, and then we'll look at it's two of them. Don't block. I don't block Fascinating Faye. I know y'all want to. Don't block them. Let them, because I'm gonna address everything they have to say. So just, don't block them. El Teddy, I'm looking at you. Oh, let me remove that. All right, let me share my screen. All right. Let's look at this first TikTok. And then, like I said, there are two different TikToks. And if you're on TikTok, please go. El Teddy, leave Cajun alone. He is not leave him alone, please. All right. And Cajun, leave El Teddy alone. Just stop. Leave him alone. Both of y'all, just stop. All right.
There's a lot of stuff that has come out today, and I'm not going to be able to do it all in one video. So the purpose of today's video is to talk about what a lot of people had questions on: the traffic stop. This morning, Ian Roberts did have a hearing at a court in Omaha, and there are court documents that are outlining what took place the day that he was detained. I have an outline here. I've got my notes. I'm going to tell you exactly how things are being reported and what the court documents show. Also, on the same day, last Friday, when this all took place, after Ian Roberts was detained, later ICE also had a federal search warrant that was executed for his home. And I'll talk about some of the things that were discovered during that search. Okay, so let's get into it. The traffic stop. Now, remember, I stated that ICE never said it was a traffic stop. The media said that it was a traffic stop. And now we have a little bit of clarity as to what took place. Here's what took place. ICE began surveilling his home early that morning. They watched him leave his house in his school-issued vehicle, which was a white Jeep Cherokee. ICE followed him, and they indicated that he was traveling at a high level of speed, and he pulled into a mobile home park. When he parked, ICE approached the vehicle, identified themselves, and he sped away. The vehicle was abandoned on the 1800 block of Swan Lake Circle. Roberts then gets out of the car. He runs into a brush area and was found about 200 yards away from where the car was abandoned. The footage that we saw from KCCI exclusively, that is what we see. We see where ICE has stopped, where they found the abandoned vehicle, and we see the ICE officers and state troopers as they're searching for Dr. Roberts, and then after he had been arrested, and they're looking into the crime scene. Once they searched the car, as we all know, the infamous gun. The firearm was found under the car seat with the towel wrapped around it. Court documents are indicating that this gun was registered to whom they believe is his wife. After Ian Roberts was detained, later that night, there was the federal search warrant of his home that was executed. In that search, there were other firearms that were found in the home, and they were registered to Ian Roberts. Now, just know they were registered. They were in his name, or Ian Roberts' name. They discovered some legal documentation in the home and in his car. The legal documents that were found included the letter of removal, the infamous letter of removal, final letter, an expired Guyana passport, and an expired work authorization card. They noted in the documentation that Ian Roberts' last day to legally work in the United States was December of 2020. Now, remember, I said there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm not going to have time to go through all of it in this video, but just know that court documents are showing that December of 2020 was the last time that Ian Andre Roberts had authorization to work in the United States. He had filed several times in different ways to try and get citizenship and work authorization and permanent residency, and they were all denied. That's a whole different video, and I promise we're going to get to it. But I'm pointing it out because he was hired to work as the superintendent for DMPS in July of 2023. So the next video that you see tonight is going to be talking about how DMPS is going to be taking some action. Okay. So the documentation that was presented today all was leading to this. He now has a federal criminal case against him, as there is now a charge of an illegal alien in possession of a firearm. Not only the firearm that was in the vehicle that he was driving when detained by ICE, but also the firearms that were found in his home. So outside of the immigration case, Ian Roberts now has a criminal case as well. Also noted that Ian Roberts is no longer in Woodbury County Jail. He is actually right here in Polk County, but he is under federal custody. I'm going to wrap this video up right here because there are a few things that took place after this information was released. So we're going to get into that next. All right. Talk to y'all later.
Okay. So that gave a little more information on what happened the day that he was actually arrested. Again, oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. Lord. Hold on, Lord. Lord, it went to the next TikTok. It gives you a little more information on the day that he was arrested. So it wasn't a traffic stop. They actually were following him. They actually were outside of his house, staking out the house or whatever you want to call it. And they waited for him to leave. Sound like right, Nate. Sounds like he was trying to have a positive impact, but maybe all of his stuff wasn't, Now let's look at this second one, which I think this was the one that made me be like, So let's look at this one. All right. Surveillance. Thank you, Diamond Pro. That's the word I was looking for. Thank you, my love. All right. All right, this is the same young lady. Like I said, she has posted multiple videos. So if you want more information, and again, you see she lives right there in Des Moines, so she has a little more information. But I'll get you her name. But you guys can go subscribe if y'all want to kind of follow what she's posting, because she's posted a few other videos as well. So let's look at this one. This one isn't as long.
The letter from Dr. Ian Roberts' previous immigration case attorney has been released. I'm going to read it to you word for word, just like I promised. Okay, let's go. The attorney's name is Jacqueline Gonzalez, and it says it is dated on March 27th of 2025. We're going to get into that date, okay? But it says, Mr. Ian Andre Roberts, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to inform you of the closure of your immigration case. It has been my pleasure to represent you throughout this process, and I am pleased to report that your case has reached a successful resolution. So, should you have any further questions or require assistance in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out. Once again, thank you for choosing Jacqueline Gonzalez, attorney at law, for your immigration representation. I wish you continued success and happiness in your endeavors. Now for the second letter. The second letter is Dr. Ian's letter of resignation from the DMPS school district. All right, it says, to the Des Moines School Board, Dr. Roberts has authorized me to send this letter announcing.
Okay, we know about that. But what I found interesting about that is this. Because I think one of the questions that we asked back when we first started, like the first time we talked about this, one of the first questions we asked was, did he have an immigration attorney? And what did his immigration attorney say? So I'm gonna play that one more time so y'all can hear what the letter said from his
immediate resignation from his position as superintendent of Des Moines. Breaking news, everybody. As promised, the letter from Dr. Ian Roberts' previous immigration case attorney has been released. I'm going to read it to you word for word, just like I promised. Okay, let's go. The attorney's name is Jacqueline Gonzalez, and it says it is dated on March 27th of 2025. We're going to get into that date, okay? But it says, Mr. Ian Andre Roberts, I hope this letter finds you well. I am writing to inform you of the closure of your immigration case. It has been my pleasure to represent you throughout this process, and I am pleased to report that your case has reached a successful resolution. So, should you have any further questions or require assistance in the future, please do not hesitate to reach out. Once again, thank you for choosing Jacqueline Gonzalez, attorney at law, for your immigration representation. I wish you continued success and happiness in your endeavors.
So it sounds like that in 2025, he was under the impression that this situation had been resolved. Now, I'm not excusing it, because did he get any further documentation? Did he get a letter? He got a letter, but did he get a green card? Like, I don't know, but it says that this situation was resolved successfully. The resolution is that he can work. So, and that was in April of 2025. So it seems like, right, Dr. Mack, what does successfully mean? But it sounds like he did have somebody working on it, and the person gave him the impression that the situation had been resolved or whatever. So here's my opinion. And what time is it? It's 7:30. I have a few minutes. I can drop the link. My opinion is this. And let me finish my thought before y'all yell at me, okay? Let me finish my thought. I'm going to address two separate things. Let's address the resume first. He padded his resume, full stop. Full stop. He padded his resume. He does have a doctorate degree. He just didn't get it from Morgan State University. Maybe he felt like Morgan State held more weight than the school that he really got his doctorate degree from. That's why they still refer to him as Dr. Ian Roberts throughout that entire article, because he has his doctorate degree. He has his master's degree. He just didn't get it from MIT. I'm not excusing the lie. Let's walk through it. He did. He did get a master's degree. Why he lied and said maybe he felt like MIT was going to be more impressive than where he got the master's degree. He did win Principal of the Year in DC. It just wasn't through George Washington University. Maybe he thought saying it came from George Washington University was going to be more impressive than some local church named him Principal of the Year. But he did win the honor. Now, I'm not excusing it. But that's what it sounds like, is that he padded his resume. And when he was called on it, he admitted it. When I recorded that, he was like, "You're right. There's a discrepancy. Let me fix it." So they still hired him knowing he lied on his damn resume. Now, I'm not excusing it, but if you want it, look, if you're willing to tell it, put a 1 in the chat. If you've ever lied on your resume, put a 1 in the chat. If you've ever lied on your resume? Put a 1 in the chat. Because the man lied about where he got these accomplishments. He didn't lie about having the accomplishments. So that's one issue. And is he wrong for lying? Absolutely. Full stop. He wrong for lying. Full stop. I don't think that makes him. What did the lady who was in here earlier? She must have left. What did the lady who was in here earlier say? Oh, there she goes. She back there. She done dropped down, child. She said, "Wow, this is how men get over on women in relationships. We believe anything." What am I not believing? I just said the man lied. Didn't I just say the man lied? I said the man lied. All right. He lied because all he had to do. Wait a minute. What you, baby? If you're gonna type in the chat, listen. I told him not to block you because I want to hear what you have to say. But if you're gonna type in the chat, I need to be able to read it. It says 10 lied because I he had no reason to lie if he has credentials. Ma'am, I just told you he has credentials. Ma'am, sir, or ma'am. I don't know if you a sir or ma'am. He has credentials. Baby, we just read that whole article. Now, listen, you can believe what you want to believe. You can believe what you want to believe. Okay, now y'all can block. See, now y'all can block them. Mods, now y'all can block them. See, I was trying to have a decent conversation, but we're not going to get into the name calling and all of that stuff. Now y'all can block them. Okay, let's move on. I was trying to have a conversation, you know. But move right along. Move right along. Chuck says someone hurt that lady. Yeah, y'all can block lady, man. I don't know who Fascinating Fee is, but y'all can block them now. Okay, moving right along. So now let's deal with the immigration side of this. I'm not going to get into the arrest from the drug arrest. I'm not going to get into the arrest where they said something about unlawful use of a vehicle. One, because it looks like at least one of those charges was thrown out and they can't even find the arrest record for the other charge. Two, I'm not going to deal with those arrests because he got a student visa after those arrests. So whatever he did must not have been too egregious that it stopped him from getting a student visa. So there's that. I'm not dealing with that. Okay, move. Throw that out the way. Boom. As far, it sounds like he has been trying to get his green card. For whatever reason, he keeps getting denied. And ICE won't tell us why. ICE hasn't told us why he keeps getting denied. I don't know why he keeps getting denied. Okay. ICE won't tell us why he keeps getting denied. Don't know. But it sounds like he has been working towards this, even down to the point where he actually had an immigration lawyer working on it. Now, I'm with you guys. A letter from my attorney saying this was successfully resolved really wouldn't have been enough for me. I would have sent another letter or another email back. I need more details. What do you mean resolved? What do I need to do next? How do I apply for is my green card in the mail? Like, what do I need to do next? Now, what do I need to do? So I agree that wouldn't have been enough for me. Okay. But here is what I also feel, and y'all don't have to like what I'm getting ready to say. And I know y'all probably, some of y'all probably not gonna like it. Yeah, I don't know when she never did go back to the date in that letter, so I don't know. It might have been a different video that she talked about, or maybe she just forgot to address it. This what I don't understand, and this the part that somebody's gonna have to really break down for me. They are right. He's right. He has a PhD, but it's just not from Morgan State. y'all have to really, when I say y'all, you know me, y'all really gonna have to explain to me how so many different agencies fail. I mean, so many different agencies fail. Like, I'm gonna drop the link. I'll let y'all come up for a few minutes. But that's the part that I just need to understand, because, again, I'm not making an excuse. He lied. He wasn't here legally. It sounds like he didn't complete what he needed to complete or finish what he needed to finish, and there it is. Now, what I but I'm still trying to wrap my brain around how he constantly was able to work and get these high profile jobs where there's an intense vetting process over and over and over and over again. It's just, that's the part that just totally vexes me. How did he continue over and over and over and over again to just keep getting in these positions? And again, y'all, at this point, I told y'all, know I reserve the right, when I get more information, I reserve the right to change my mind about something. And I still feel like this was a man who has devoted his life to urban education. It sounds like he was an effective leader in every job that he took. Okay. So I'm not going to take anything away from that. And I don't think it was a problem with him working around kids. I didn't see anything that showed that he was a danger to anybody. I mean, okay, so he had firearms, but it's funny to me how y'all love the First Amendment until it's somebody else. Y'all love the First Amendment until it's somebody y'all don't want to have a weapon. Then all of a sudden, he's up. Does this have to do with the teacher shortage? No. There's no shortage of applicants for those types of positions. Absolutely not. I put the link in the chat if anybody wants to come up and say something. If not, we're going to get off of here in a few minutes. But I just wanted to bring y'all that. Again, I want to be fair. I want to give y'all all sides of an article. I still feel the way I feel. I still feel like this is politically charged. I still feel like there were other ways that this could have been handled. But I mean, I feel like that about a lot of the immigration and how immigration is being handled, you know? I mean, I think we can all, well, not all of us, because, you know, Fascinating Feed don't seem to agree, you know? But I feel like a lot of us will agree that, you know, it could have been handled differently. I mean, you knew what a man was. He's gainfully employed. He's a citizen. You know where to find him. You know, right? Especially since it shows that he was constantly trying to get citizenship. Again, this isn't somebody that was trying to run from the process. It just wasn't. The process wasn't working for him, and maybe he should have been deported. I don't know, but I just feel like it could have been handled with somebody that's trying. And again, I've never had to go through an immigration process. But why wouldn't they say? Like, if you keep denying this man, why won't you say why you're denying him? Why is his green card being rejected? This is a man that works. He's gone to college. He's got multiple degrees. He's gainfully employed. He's got a family. Because I think in the article in that one of those videos, she talks about when he did apply after he married his wife. He applied again, and once again he was denied. So he was denied on every level to try and get citizenship. Every level he was denied, and was never given a reason. You know, the Inform said because he's black. Well, he may have had advanced parole to allow him to travel. It's like a temporary travel. Y'all talking in the chat. Right, Tracy. Tracy said, um, when we look at candidates, if you come from a more prestigious university, the thought process is that they will have a better work ethic, and sometimes alumni look out for their own. Yeah. You meant me what? Okay, hold on. Let me go back up because I don't understand what that means. When you say it's like a temporary travel authorization while you wait for the final decision. Hold on, let me scroll back up. Let me see what you said before that. He had to have he had to have had advanced parole to allow him to travel. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, they said he had a passport from Guyana as well. So hold on, Tracy. I got trolls. So let me put one of my my screen up before I bring you up here, baby girl, because I ain't trying to get got, honey. I ain't trying to get got. Yeah. Tracy.
I could at least got Scotty, but okay. That's fine. That's fine.
Okay, there you go.
Way too much. So I'm gonna be honest, I came in late. Did they
Mm-hmm.
say that he tried to get a green card through his employer?
Um,
Was there an employer sponsored one maybe at some point
I
in
didn't see
time?
that. I saw where he applied for a green card, was denied. I saw where he applied after he got married and was denied. I do not know if any of his attempts were employee sponsored. I don't remember her saying that. Does anybody remember if she said it in the video or if he said it?
Yeah. Like, because now I'm wondering if maybe he had tried multiple times, because it seems like he tried multiple times in every different avenue. Could it have been that the 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 role that he held before he was arrested could it maybe have been one of the things that he negotiated for an employer sponsored green card where it would have came solely from his employer, which is maybe a possibility. Because if you've tried multiple other avenues, maybe, um, especially since it does seem like he's tried everything else at least, right? But I agree. This definitely feels like one of those things of how dare this black man be doing better than whoever else applied, whoever else it was. And it was like, oh, this seems like a nice, easy way to remove him.
And I feel like somebody tipped off Ice because I mean the man been working there since 2023.
Absolutely.
I don't know. Vovo said it's hard to get citizenship if you commit any crime for non-citizens after 2021. I guess that's true too. Kenneth said I thought employee could only sponsor visas, not green cards. I could be wrong.
No, it depends on the sponsor. Oh my gosh, the military actually does it a lot because it's literally like they contract you out for, I think it has to be like more than like 8 years or something like that. It is a long stint of time that they are kind of guaranteeing your employment for, which is rare, especially nowadays. Um, but I do think maybe that, you know, especially, which it seems odd because in 2025, if they told him he had a positive outcome, I wonder, like, did that just mean that they,
I mean, I need more. Like I said, that
I don't
letter,
know.
yeah,
Hmm.
that letter just said a successful outcome. But again, based on what, like, we don't even know what they were trying to do for him. Like
Hmm.
maybe they were trying to get a case expunged or something. Like I don't know. But it was from his immigration attorney, and it was dated 2025. So maybe it sounds. But what it to me, and this is just me, it sounds like he was still trying to work on even after he got that final letter of deportation in 2024. It sounds like he was still trying to get legal status. That's what it sounds like.
Yeah, yeah. And I mean, I guess it's really no different than the people who are going to, immigration and customs to do their green card applications, to do their interviews, to do stuff like that, and they're being detained, kind. it seems like that same thing where they're kind of in that limbo status.
Mm-hmm.
And you're right. Somebody was just like, we're gonna go ahead and turn you in.
Yeah. D Johnson, I asked that question as well. How is he legally how is he illegally here but legally able to purchase a firearm registered in his name? So there's either two things. Either one, ICE is lying about him having all of these weapons, or there are some states in this country where literally you just got to show up with ID. And if you have the money, you can purchase the firearm. I mean, there are some states that have absolutely no background check and all of that stuff. Or it fell through the cracks just like his employment and everything else fell through the cracks. Has he been paying taxes? Has he had health insurance? Like, it just seems to me like all of this stuff goes into that. Like, I'm so confusion.
And I have a hard time believing that he wasn't paying taxes, especially when they start to say, what his income was and what his income range was,
Right.
and that we have not heard anything about an IRS audit or anything like that, because they be quick to come. As soon as they find somebody, they be like, oh, taxes, oh, money. Yeah, you owe me. You know what I mean? So they be real quick, because a lot of times, if you really think about it, shoot, sometimes depending on how much money you have and how much money you make, there be a freaking IRS agent sitting in the doggone court listening to your court cases, because they love to swoop in.
I agree with what a lot of you in the chat are saying, that y'all think that ICE is not being honest about some stuff. I agree. That's why I said, for me, the immigration thing and his resume are two separate issues. For me, maybe it's not for everybody, and that's fine. But for me, it is, because again, did he pad his resume? Absolutely. It sounds like he padded his resume. Was he wrong for padding his resume? Sure. Pop on the hand. But he did not lie about his credentials. He just lied about where he got them from. But that's, again, for some of y'all, that might not make a difference. But to me, that's different from the immigration. And I think it's all getting muddled together now, where for me, it's two separate issues. Because Iowa still hired him knowing those discrepancies on his resume. So it's not like it was a make or break thing. He got multiple high power positions with these same fibs or lies, if y'all want to just come right out and call him a lie, on his resume. Like, this man has been making over six figures for probably the last 10 years. If he's been a principal since 5 years after he started working, I promise you he's been making six figures at every job since then. And that was what, 10 years ago, maybe almost 15 years ago, he's been working in administration. I know for a fact principals in DC make over six figures, and principals in Baltimore make over six figures. So he became a principal in Baltimore. He's been making six figures since then. That's a lot of money. That you mean to tell me either he's paying taxes or he's not paying taxes. So if he's paying taxes, they said he had a Social Security card. It could have been fraudulent, but it's never been flagged in anybody's system.
And I mean, he could pay taxes, like immigrants pay taxes. They just file a different tax form. It's like a 1040.
But then wouldn't that be a flag? If he had to file a different tax form, wouldn't that be a flag? You see what I'm saying? Like,
but I think sometimes it gets muddied because all of them are so different and so segmented that they don't all talk to each other in that way, right?
So you can get a Social Security card if you have a student visa. She said as an international student, you can get a Social Security card. Maybe it's the same. So maybe he's using the same Social Security card he had when he was over here on a student visa. So then, I know this is going to be a dumb question because, again, I don't know about immigration, y'all. I'm not versed in immigration stuff. So it doesn't get flagged in the system once your student visa status is expired. Your Social Security number doesn't get flagged.
I don't know. Because that would be like with the Social Security Administration. So I have no clue. Probably not, because for some reason they just feel to me like a very antiquated department.
Clearly.
You know,
DB said she got hers that way before her immigration paperwork was complete, and she says no, your social security card number doesn't get flagged. Wow.
yeah, no, because they're very segmented and separate. And I know for a lot of times for them, they just care that you're paying taxes more so than your status. Which sounds bad, but I mean the reality of America in that way. Um,
Now Chuck has a background. I ain't gonna tell your business, Chuck, but I know Chuck has a background with Social Security, and he said no, Social Security tracks all of it, and I know he has a background in Social Security. So, y'all, it just
yeah, I
what's
mean they could
clear.
track it, but do that. But are they flat? Like, are they flagging? Are they doing something about? Because we can track almost anything, right? Like, but is there something that then trigger something when they file their taxes to be like, oh, you can't file tax, you need to go do this and blah blah blah. I don't know. You know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, could it? That's like your driver's license. Like, could it be expired? Yeah, I mean, yeah, it could. But does that then mean they do something other than a notice? You know, will they stop allowing you to pay taxes? Like, I just don't know about that part.
Yeah,
That's beyond me. But like I said, this definitely feels
it's
odd
it,
and
it's just it's a lot of unanswered questions. One thing I
mhm.
think we can all agree on is multiple agencies failed. Like clearly, this man has been working in plain sight for 10, 15 years. So multiple agencies failed. That's just what it just sounds crazy to me. But I agree. I agree with Brown Mama. It's above my tax. It's above my tax bracket. It's above my pay grade, I should say.
Yeah. And I
And
mean,
we'll just keep following it.
when did he get his PhD? Like, how long has he actually really been out of school?
He got his PhD in 2021.
2021. So, I mean, technically, throughout that whole time, he could have been back and forth on student visas,
Well, you came in
maybe.
late, so you missed
Hmm.
the article I read broke down. There was a gap. There was a gap of about 14 years where he didn't have anything. He
Oh, shoot.
had he had work visas or student visas, and then he didn't have anything probably until he went back for his PhD.
Hmm.
Then he got a student visa again in what was it 2018, y'all, and then that one expired in 2021, which is when he got his PhD, and then he got the final order of deportation in
Got it.
2024.
Hmm.
But he was hired in 2023, so when he was hired, he didn't have anything. Well, he was hired in Des Moines in 2023. I mean, obviously he's had other jobs, but in 2023 is when he was hired in Des Moines. So he didn't have anything when he was hired in Des Moines. I don't know, y'all. Well, we get ready to get out of here. Don't forget, in 30 minutes, we're going to be over on Scotty's channel. We're going to be over at Scotty's channel, child, to talk about these Potomac girls. Look, Kern was down to the Breezy concert last night, and she looked good. Did y'all see that picture?
No.
Okay. Let me show this. I was going to post this on my community wall, but it was on Cookie's channel. Cookie's the one that I told y'all. Oh, I'm sorry. Cookie is the one I told y'all that's cool. Y'all seen her on, matter of fact, she's the one that's in that scene when they from the trailer when they said, I heard that she's been hanging that Stacey's been hanging out with Chris Samuels, and she was like, who? That's Cookie. So Cookie and Karen are really good friends. So this is from last night at the Chris Brown concert. That's Cookie and there's Karen. They were at the Chris Brown concert last night. She looked good too, honey. The Grand Dame looked good, honey.
As long as she, as long as she not
Shut
with
up,
Kim Bay as
child.
a wig,
She
I'm
didn't
fine.
drive, child. She didn't drive. Anyway, he wasn't. No, he wasn't. So the issue is the 14-year gap. The worker visa would have been only for 1 year since he finished school. You can't be employed for more. Well, he was employed the whole time. He's been working the whole time. It doesn't show that he has had any gap in employment. So Anyway, y'all, let me get out of here. I'll see y'all in 30 minutes over at Scotty's house, honey. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.